Hello, friends. My name is Brian Trescos. I am co-founder here at the Somatic Coaching Academy. And if you are like me and millions of other people, you probably sit way too much. You're probably sitting at a computer, a desk, a chair, a bus seat, a car seat, a plane seat, a bench somewhere, like just way too much. And you get a stiff back. There's a lot of people out there with stiff backs. And so I have a lot of both personal and professional experience with stiff backs. And what I'd love to share with you today are some core centering practices that we can specifically use to help you with your stiff back. So we're going to do just a little taste of some of those experiences right now. So I'm going to get up out of my chair, which I've been sitting in for the last 2 hours doing work here at my computer. And I'm going to step away. And with our core centering practices today, I'm going to share with you 3 acupressure points in the body that specifically help to reduce back stiffness. I'm also going to share with you 3 movements from our core centering practice that specifically designed to help reduce back stiffness. I'll tell you about those as we go. And I'm going to share with you a mindfulness alignment practice that also is going to be really, really good for your back. Okay, so the very first thing to do when we're talking about resolving back stiffness is to get out of your chair if you can, right? I mean, all this stuff can be done in a chair, but let's be frank, if we're sitting way too much, let's try to get out of our chairs. So get out of your chair, just push away, and then just walk around a little bit first. Just kind of wiggle your body. So we don't want to jump in anything too quick. We're going to be here for a few minutes doing some things, but just kind of check in and notice if there's any areas in your body that you want to avoid. Are you have back stuff that's just not feeling great at all, or do you have stuff that's like, oh my god, that would love some attention? Just kind of check in with that. Just wiggle around and move around a little bit. Okay, now once we've done that, let's get in and do a little bit of acupressure. So the first point we're going to go to is right on your back. So just find the spots on your back that are stiff. What I like to do is just get my fists and knuckles right in some of those spots. There's some good spots right there. Just go to the bottom of the ribs. A couple of points here called the Sea of Vitality points. They're bladder acupressure points associated with the bladder meridian. But you can get thumbs right in those points, sinking in. You can get knuckles in those points. You can even pound on those points a little bit. Let's just take a moment and do just a little bit of massage right in these Sea of Vitality points that are often associated with back stiffness. And while we are doing a little rubbing in there, just do a big, long, deep sigh out. Just do a nice, long sigh. Make just a little bit of noise, letting that sigh out. That helps reduce tension in the body. And almost always stiff backs are associated with some type of stress and emotional tension. If you haven't already realized that for yourself. So one more big deep breath. Okay, cool. All right, I'm already starting to warm up a little bit here in my back. That's starting to feel pretty good. Let's move on to the next point. The next point is right on the bottom of the foot. It's right exactly at the bottom of the foot. It's called the bubbling spring point. It's a kidney point. So I like to use a ball, a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball or something like that. I just put it right down there on the ground, and then ball of my foot, I guess right in the middle of the foot, actually, on that ball, and just kind of sink right in. Use a wall for balance. Now, if you don't have a ball with you, then another thing you do is you can lean against the wall and then just kind of rub that spot. Put your fingers right on the bottom of that bubbling spring. You can do a little bit of pounding on it. You can use thumbs to massage right on that spot on the bottom of the foot. I'm kind of lazy sometimes. Rather than bending over and picking up my foot, I just step on the ball. So either way, if you have something that you can step on close by, or if you want to use your hands to do it, that's fine. You never want to damage the plantar fascia in the bottom of your foot. Just sink in there. We're just going to be here for about 30 seconds or so on each foot. But as we're sinking in, let your foot relax and open up over top of that ball. this kidney point connected with the bladder meridians in the back. Kidneys are on your back as well. From a Chinese medicine perspective, this is a great spot to open up. It really does a lot to relieve tension all the way up the back of the leg, all the way up into the back as well. These are all parts of the core centering program. We're just right now reorganizing them in order to specifically help you with a stiff back. All right, I'm just going to switch to the other side, sink into that spot. You might notice, hey, does one side feel more sore than the other? Does that correlate to where your back is stiffness on one side or the other? I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing it out there if you'd have to pay attention, okay? Just nice exhale, relaxing. Imagining my foot opening up, creating a more effective flow of energy between my foot and my back, sort of thing. Anytime we have stiffness anywhere, it kind of blocks the ease of movement in the body. All right, so we've done just a little bit of massage and 2 points now. We've done a little bit of massage on the Sea of Vitality points in the back. We've also done some on the bubbling spring point in the bottom. Now the next spot is right below the navel. So if you stick your finger in your navel and then put the rest of your hand below, there's a spot there called the Sea of Energy. So you just kind of hook in and up on the Sea of Energy point. And as we hook in and up, you might sense, see if you can't feel a connection between what happens in your abdomen and what happens in the back directly behind that. So working the Sea of Energy point can also be really great to help release tension and low back pain. Just some gentle pressure in, holding it for, again, just a minute or so. And those are our 3 acupressure points to begin our core centering practice today. Okay, great. So those are the points. Now let's do our 3 movements. First movement. Well, first let's get ourselves settled. Feel your feet on the ground. Relax your knees so they're bouncy. Get yourself in a pelvic neutral posture so that you kind of have a freedom in the middle here somewhere. And then just imagine the crown of your head being lifted up towards the sky so your spine gets nice and long and open. Very first move we're going to do is called ringing the temple gong. So ring the temple gong, simply what we do is think about pushing off of one foot and pushing off of the other foot. And as you push off of a foot, almost like you're skating, feel the energy come up the body, across the body and across the body, back and forth. So as I'm pushing off of one foot, my body turns one way. As I'm pushing off of the other foot, my body turns the other way. So I'm using very little effort actually in my back right now. My back, I'm not actively using my back muscles. My arms my arms are rotating around my body because of the way I'm pushing off of my foot to my foot. So most of the energy activation is happening down in my legs. So I'm pushing off, body goes one way, pushing off, the body goes the other way. And so I'm relaxing through my waist. I'm relaxing through my arms as I do this. Now, if it's sore to go one way, then just don't push off as much in that direction. We have a little saying, always move further in the direction of ease. Always move in the direction that feels better for you, not worse for you, better for you. Move in the way that feels more loose, and then let the stiff side come along and decide when it wants to play nice and join in what feels good. So instead of forcing what doesn't feel good, we're gonna actually encourage what does feel good, and we're gonna do this by relaxing with the movement, not forcing the movement. You might also notice my hands are tapping my body both in the front and in the back. And so I'm giving myself an additional little massage on those Sea of Vitality points in the back. Look at that. One of my absolute favorite movements to reduce back stiffness. Okay, that's ring the temple gong. All right, so now next what we're going to do is a movement from core centering called rolling the earth. So rolling the earth, you imagine you have a big ball, and we just take that big ball and we roll it one way and we roll it the other way, just like that. And you can see I'm doing this in a really relaxed and fluid manner. Again, the movement's kind of coming up from my lower body into my upper body. So, which is different if I was just doing this, right? If I was just doing this, then I'm using a lot of back movement and shoulder movement to do it. But if I do it like this, the movement's coming from lower down and then flowing upward. So my back can relax. This way I can get back range of motion without using back muscles. Whoa, how about that for an idea? Because when we sit all day long, our back muscles are actually working all day long, but they're working in a very constricted range of motion. They're holding us in a position rather than moving. So here, I'm using my legs to help give myself back range of motion. Now, why am I choosing these three movements, by the way? Ring the temple gong helps with spine rotation. This movement, rolling the earth, helps with spine side bending. So I can, basically when I'm rolling, I'm side bending to one side. And when I roll this way, I'm side bending the other side. So these three movements I'm sharing with you work all 6 planes of movement of the spine, which is really important if we want to reduce stiffness. So again, for you, if moving one way feels really good, then go farther that direction. If the other way is like, oh, I'm done that way, then that's fine. Just come back. We're never going to push into pain, folks. We want to move in the direction that feels better, move further in the direction of ease when we do our core centering practices. So you can just imagine you're taking this big ball and just over one side and over the other side. Movements can be small or movements can be big based on how you're feeling in the moment. Sometimes it's good to start off small if you're feeling really stiff and then slowly make it a little bigger. Real easy. We're going to inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And in and exhale out. Good. And inhale and exhale. So just really think about coordinating your movement and your breathing. That deep breath kind of slows down our nervous system a little bit, opens up our lungs, relaxes the diaphragm, which attaches to your spine, by the way. All really important if you're helping to reduce back stiffness. Okay, so we've done ring the temple gong. We've done just a little bit of this rolling the earth. Now the next one we call heart opening, and it looks just like this. So we come to the front, we do just a little bit of a squeeze in the front, and then we do an opening like this. Now let me show this from the side. So let's do this together. Why is this the third movement? Because look, now we're doing a little spinal flexion. Be careful. And then we're doing some spinal extension. So this is that 6th plane of movement. So we've done rotation, we've done side bending, and now we're doing flexion extension, all to help reduce this spine stiffness. We want to be able to move in all directions. Now, again, remember, does it feel better for you to start slow and small and then get it bigger? Yeah, do that. Only nudge what feels stiff and always move in what feels better directions, okay? This is the exhale. This is the inhale. Good. This is the exhale. And this is the inhale. Let's do a few more together. Just imagining lubricating this spine. Like I'm just imagining I'm getting fresh lubrication flow in. And I'm imagining just squeezing out any junk, any old oil out. Like I'm imagining squeezing all the old oil out of the system. And then I have fresh oil coming into the system. What's the oil in our spine? It's what's called synovial fluid in our joints. In our muscles, it's called blood and lymph. So fresh blood in and squeezing all the old stuff out. That's what I visualize. I can just feel like it's loosening up the spine, nice and easy. Okay, great, cool. All right, so we've done our 3 acupressure points. We've done our 3 movements. Now let's just do a little bit of mindful aligning. So what do we do here? Feel your feet on the ground, really connect. Open up the feet like you're opening up those kidney 1 points, so that bubbling spring is kind of open. Relax the knees. Knees, really want these knees relaxed, folks. So bring all of your attention mindfully into this moment. Feel your feet on the ground, okay? Connect, feel your feet on the ground. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Feel the sensations on the bottom of your feet. Now, relax your knees. This is one big issue around spine pain is people have locked knees. Locking your knees is a precursor and correlative to back pain every single time. So we want to relax the knees. How do we know the knees are relaxed? Well, we're going to feel like they're unlocked, but you also may feel like your quads are just activating just a teeny bit. Okay. Next, most important, mindfully bring your awareness from your feet up past your relaxed knees, up past your quads who have a little bit of just a little activation in them, up to your pelvis. Now, checking in your pelvis mindfully. Is your pelvis locked out, like jacked backwards? Is your pelvis like really kind of tucked underneath too far, sort of thing? Or are you somewhere in the middle? So just mindfully for a moment, find where that relaxed middle point might be for you. We're in this pelvic neutral. So feel yourself in a pelvic neutral place. All right. Mindfully just relax or release any tension that you can in your pelvis. And then bring some awareness up to the crown of your head. You can even take your hands just right here on your head and imagine lifting your head up off your shoulders. Bring your chin back just slightly as your head lifts. Imagine your spine is like a slinky kind of opening up, 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 up. That your spine is kind of opening and lengthening, like you're growing an inch or two. And you might imagine the vertebrae just kind of like open up and creating spaciousness between them. Almost like there's a thread kind of from the crown of your head lifting you up to the sky. And you can just kind of hang on that thread like you are in traction from heaven, sort of thing. Your spine can just relax. So the bottom of your body is kind of sinking down as as your knees relax. Crown of your head is lifting up. So you've kind of got this both going down and going up at the same time. Just mindfully sense that into your body. So there's just sense of mindful alignment. Let's do a long, slow exhale. And as we exhale, let that alignment happen even a little more, lifting up, lowering down. Just one more breath. Good. And then just check back into your body and wiggle around a little bit, move in whatever way feels good for you. Check back in and see how your body compares now, your back, your stiff back compares to just when we pushed away from the chair 15 minutes ago to get up and move around as to how it feels now. Love to know. We'd love to see your comments if you enjoyed this core centering practice, specifically based around helping you relieve a stiff back. And if you're interested in bringing this work into your work, to your clients, to your people, to your workshops, to your programs, please check out the core centering program at the somaticcoachingacademy.com. Share this with your friends, like, comment, share, all that kind of stuff. And we hope to see you in a program really soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.